Me. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nosebleeds podcast. I'm Chris Witt, and with me, as always, is Mr. Adam Schmidt. How are you today, sir?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
If I ain't better, I'd be twins.
The Minnesota Twins?
I'm gonna say yes. Oh my gosh, I totally forgot. We just went over a little pre-show prep. I've got a little something too, when we get into baseball.
Good.
Okay,
Good.
it just popped in my head. Popped in
Good.
my head.
I'm excited
I'm
about
I'm
that.
giving something. I'm giving a new thing a go.
Oh,
Something new a go with Major League Baseball.
nice.
I'll
Okay.
let you know about it. But to start, we apologize because we were not here last week.
Right.
Actually, Adam came to my house last week.
We were here
We
last
were
week.
here. We went to start the podcast. Like Adam got here, and I was in a mad search for my key. I was at my girls' softball practice, and um, key to the truck got lost. We won't blame Finley 100% for it because I
Mhm.
forgot my key back at the bench, asked her to go get it. She came running back, put it in her pocket, and when she got to the truck, nobody knows where the key's at. So this practice got over at 8:30, right? So it's a late practice.
Yeah.
And then I don't have a key. So I turn the flashlight on to go look for it, and within 5 minutes or less, my phone dies.
Oh,
So no flashlight. It's 9 o'clock at night, basically. No flashlight. We're at a middle school, or no, a grade school, an elementary school
mhm.
um, parking lot. One of the girls left the back window down. It was going to rain that night. I was going to just lock the car. I don't know how I was going to get home. So luckily, there was one guy from our team with his daughter and wife that were still at the play area. I was like, thank God. I was like, hey, guy that I've only met twice, can I borrow your phone and call my wife? My phone died. I lost my key. Da, 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 da. Super great couple, man. Super awesome people. So I call. Aaron answered on the first try. I looked at him. I was like, she'll never answer this, but I'll call and then I'll call again. She'll answer. Answered on the first try with a hello and told her what happened. So she's in the middle of cleaning something. She's trying to get it done so she can come get us. Meantime, the couple comes up. They help us look for the keys. They got flashlights. They're looking. I told them, I was like, guys, it's getting late. Head on home. All good. We'll figure it out. Aaron finally gets there. We get home. I got home like 2 minutes before you got here, like right around 10 o'clock.
Mhm.
Girls are going to bed. I'm go to bed. I'm a little nerve wracked because I just left my truck there with the windows open and the door locked, which means nothing when the window's wide open.
Yeah.
I got all the like stuff that was important, but anyway, Adam says, let's go look for it.
Yeah.
What a nice guy. We gather some flashlights that end up not working when we get there. But we still had phones,
Yeah.
right? So charged the phone up. Had a little bat, had the pack with it so I could get it charged up while we were going there. Got a nice little charge on the phone. We got back there. What would you say? 10:30?
Yeah. Probably about that.
Two and a half, two, not 2.5, 2 hours probably of searching
Yeah.
in the grass outfield of two baseball fields all over the place where we walked. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's midnight, 12:30 at night now, and I say, you know what, Adam? Let's give it up. The podcast is already done. We're not going to be able to do the podcast. We're talking to each other in the middle of this field randomly. It was a little chilly. Uh,
We did an unrecorded podcast,
we
basically.
basically did a podcast from 30 feet away from each other at all times, looking in the grass. Um, I told him, I said, hey, dude, I'm going to go back to the truck. The girls' bags are in. I'm just going to look through them one more time. Let's just get out of here. And it is what it is. Come back when it's light.
Yep.
I go down to the truck. Adam's, 100 yards behind or 50 yards behind me, comes walking back, does a little search as he's walking back, gets to my truck, and I got it opened up again. I'm like, yeah, here we go. Whatever. All right. It's not in here. And he goes, is this a Ford truck? And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. My man found it on the way back to walking is 2 hours plus.
On the way out.
Yes.
Yep.
At an elementary school. And yeah, I think I gave him the biggest hug any man has ever given another man in an elementary school parking
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that's probably right.
lot.
After 12:30 at night.
Yes,
Add that one.
add that one on there. Yeah, yeah. Almost 1 o'clock in the morning in a elementary school parking lot. Yeah,
That we know of.
on a weekday.
On a weekday.
On a week on a weekday. So anyway, apologize for no podcast last week. Totally my fault. We are
It's
well,
okay.
maybe not totally my fault. A little bit of Finley's fault, but I'll definitely take the bulk of it. She was helping me. I am not. I wasn't. I'm not. Wasn't. I am totally kidding about
It
that.
was a practice.
It was a practice.
Okay, so you don't want that. You had that stuff on the bench because you don't want that jingling
I
around.
can't do that, man. I just sat it on the bench. Usually with baseball, I have a base. I have a bag that I carry with me, and I just slide it into the pockets. But for softball, I don't use that same bag, so I don't have anything. So I just kind of sat it on the bench, and yeah, because I hate that in the pockets banging around. I can't.
Especially your wallet. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and
That
it's
thing's like
not even close to what it used to be.
yeah, things like having a brick in your pocket.
Yeah, it is. There's no doubt. So anyway, we're back now.
Back.
So here's how we're gonna do this today. Adam texted me and Mikey Little the other day. Mikey's never been on this podcast, has he?
No,
No,
he should. He should be.
Yeah, we should figure out a way to get him on here.
Yeah.
So Texas the other day, a good story, because Adam is back out on the road again. Walking stories with Cracker Thug. It's springtime. You know it's coming back. If you don't know that, if you've never listened to this podcast, an ongoing segment is walking stories with Cracker Thug because he was called Cracker Thug by somebody while he was walking. And since that was the very first walking story I think we ever had.
Yeah.
Ever since, he's got plenty of walking stories walking through Cheviot and Westwood. So, very excited about that. But while we do that, I believe you may have possibly a new Reese's on you.
Yeah. I've seen this before. I'm sure you've seen this before. Maybe it was the miniatures that threw me off. This is have we done the peanut butter pie Reese's?
I've never seen that.
I feel like I've seen it. I don't know. I feel like I've
Peanut
seen
butter pie Reese's.
Yeah.
So if
These are
you
the
look at
minis.
it, they're miniatures. If you look at the bag, it just looks like a miniature
Nothing's different.
Reese's.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know how
Yeah.
you can see it,
Yeah,
but
a little tilted it. That yeah, if you're on the
whatever.
YouTube, got a little picture there. So we've got peanut butter pie. I've never had peanut butter
Oh,
pie.
you got the the loose wrapper in there. Like
Somebody
these my oh, I
somebody already.
smell that already.
Whoa,
I mean,
that
that's
is
a heavy smell.
What is that? That is
It's a peanut butter
like a
pie.
toffee. Like
Yeah.
a toffee.
Yeah, it's like a toffee.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh, yeah. Big time. Was there two in there?
I guess.
And they're the funny part is the wrapper that was loosely in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is for a bit. Oh no, it's not. It's a mini.
Oh yeah.
It's a mini. I thought it was for a big cup. All right, definitely a toffee smell.
Yeah, there's a toffee color on the wrapper too, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that 100%. Maybe we're smelling the wrapper.
Maybe it's a scratch and sniff wrapper.
All right. Oh, I hear crunch. I hear
That's mine.
crunch.
Yeah. Sorry.
Not expecting
sorry
that.
to
Sorry,
you.
Melinda.
I'm sorry to your sister for sure.
Sorry, Mel. Adam doesn't have headphones. He doesn't know how close he is to the microphone.
Yeah.
So first bite, first taste, first impressions.
The crunch did surprise me too. It's not a bad crunch at all. Definitely you get the toffee taste as well. I like this. I kind of like this.
I'm not a toffee guy,
Yeah. I'm not a huge toffee guy.
but I mean this isn't terrible. I wouldn't buy these. I wouldn't buy these. I mean, I'll eat them if they're there. They're not bad. I don't know. This is gonna be this might be like a 7-4.
Wow.
That's pretty low. I'm not sure I like these really.
7.4. 7.4, you clearly hate them. If we're comparing to
On the Reese
everything
scale,
else. Yeah.
for sure.
All right. I'm gonna go with you know what I think is good about these is the miniature. I think if this was a big cup, that'd be
Mm-mm.
real. That would
No
be a
way.
lot of flavor. Yeah.
No way. That's too much.
All right. Yeah.
Couldn't do the big cup.
Um. Hmm. Yeah, I kind of like it.
The crunch isn't bad. The crunch is my favorite part.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think me too. There must be. I mean, this is just they call it peanut butter pie. This is just it has like toffee crisps or something. I mean,
Oh, that's got to be what it is. What does it say on the? Oh, you
oh
can't read that. You don't have your glasses.
yeah,
Peanut butter pie flavor, milk chocolate and peanut butter with crunchy graham flavored cookie pieces.
great.
That's graham, bud. That's graham.
Graham, I just caught one in the throat.
Easy for you to say. So where's this toffee flavor? Or is that just like
That's the graham. That's the graham flavor.
that's graham? I love graham cracker. That doesn't taste like graham cracker.
Yeah,
That tastes like something my great grandma would eat wrapped in an orange wrapper at Halloween. Remember orange and brown or orange and black candies? They're just wax paper.
yeah.
That's what this tastes like to me.
Hmm.
Like a nasty toffee flavor. And does anybody like those?
I'm sure.
I
I'm
can't
sure.
even reach for my drink.
Wow.
My arm hurts so bad.
That's
dude.
me every night reaching next to my couch on my end table. I can't
You're gonna need to
reach out
get.
and
You're
back.
gonna end up needing surgery.
I know I need surgery. I
I
it's worse now than it's ever
I
been.
tell the story all the time. I tore it when I was like 26 years old or something, and I just never. It's a small tear, so they didn't do surgery. They were like, it's only gonna get worse.
Yeah.
And I think what I did yesterday was work, dude. It's bad. I made a
You
bet.
can't throw, you're not Nolan Ryan. You can't be throwing 300 pitches in a night.
I've been throwing 200 to 250 pitches during BP all the time, all winter long. But it was I think it's because I was closer, so I didn't have to give it as much, and I could just kind of dart it out there. I was winding up and giving it a little humdinger, you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
I got every bit of 52, 53 miles an hour out on these
That's
boys.
big. That's big. You gotta work on this guy over here now.
I'm gonna have to be a left dude. You know, I love people. The people that probably are the most impressive to me are ambidextrous people.
Yeah.
And not people that say they're ambidextrous, legit ambidextrous people.
You're born
Like you
you
can
just
just
are.
do anything both and look 100% natural.
Yeah.
I go from an athlete to a toddler with Down syndrome almost immediately when I go to my left hand.
Yeah.
That's what it's bad. In fact, saying Down syndrome is not even fair because my Uncle Paul was left-handed and he looked way better than
He could
me
hum it.
throwing
He could hum it
for
in there.
sure.
Hum it in there.
But
You kidding
it's
me? Give him a
bad.
basketball. Zoom. That lefty jumper. That lefty jumper on UP.
Thing was fire, bro. I don't even know where he got his form from, but it was. I mean, he got rid of that guide hand a little early, but oh boy, get it up there for sure.
He was knocking him down.
He'd hit you free throws all day long now.
You know, I was thinking about him on the way over here because of all the rain and we've had like really heavy thunderstorms.
So funny.
He would go to the classics,
Yep.
man. He'd be talking
Absolutely.
about
We last night it's 12:30 at night when the big one started coming through.
Uh-huh.
And I almost put in our little family group chat. Is anybody else right now thinking, oh my God, a storm
Yeah.
or lightning?
Heavy rain, all the
Oh God,
classics,
heavy
man.
rain. Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh, yes.
Sound effects and everything, man. He had it
Sound
all.
effects are the best part.
Yep.
Okay. So where do we get? Oh yeah, the shoulder.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Between the two of us, we
I-
got like 3/4 of a good shoulder.
Of a good
probably.
shoulder. Maybe.
Yeah.
Dude,
'Cause
today,
my left is bad too.
dude, my right, dude. This right one is this. I mean, there is 0% in this right one right now. Like, I can come forward up all day long, but as soon as I reach backwards, like I'm gonna have to move my.
raise.
I have to move my. I have to. I gotta stay connected. I can tell you that. We're just. We're talking about hitting. We're talking about hitting earlier upstairs before the show. I gotta stay connected. If I move this elbow out, I'm in trouble. But I'm gonna have to move my drink closer to the microphone stand so I don't
There you
have to
go.
reach
You want me to
backwards.
hold it for you? So
Just
you
need a
can
table in front of me. If I have a table in front of me, I'll be all right. It's just reaching behind. I'll just reach across my body with my left hand. God, it sucks. You know, I was talking to uh, buddy of mine, and I was telling him about it, and he coaches too, and he's like, hey, you know, you're 40, right? Like, and I said, I'm 41. He goes, our bodies don't work like that. I said, I stretching like crazy. He goes, Chris, our bodies don't work like that.
Yeah.
I iced it 3 times last night.
Ooh.
Nothing. Dude, it's nothing.
Wow.
This is not, it is nothing.
You stretched and iced. You did
That's
everything you could
legit,
do.
dude. And it hurts more now than it did yesterday. I
That's-
couldn't sleep on it last. I couldn't sleep. I struggled to sleep last night.
Are you normally a side sleeper?
Always a side sleeper.
Same. And
Always.
usually on your right or left?
Both.
Both.
I go back and forth. Yeah, I go back and forth. Most of the time on my left, probably if the girls jump in bed, because I have to face the floor I'm about to fall on.
Yeah.
So I have to sleep on my left because I only have whatever. My body's probably 7 inches wide. I have that much room.
Your body's more than 7 inches wide, but yeah.
Not this way. Yeah, this way, but
Oh.
on my side to here, bro. Jeez. I mean, maybe it still is more than 7 inches, but
14 or
it ain't that much bigger. My little baby hips, my belly might hang off. I was talking about my hips. My belly's hanging off the edge.
It just sounded
I got
very-
a natural lean on my belly. It just leans because for 8 hours at night, it just sags off one side of the bed.
It just sounded like when you said my body is 7 inches, it sounded to me like when Donald Trump said he's 6'4", 190 or whatever it was.
Chiseled.
Okay. Reese's peanut butter pie miniatures. Did you say what you said 7.8? Was that what it was?
I think I said 7.4.
7.4.
Yeah.
7.4. I'm going with an 8.9.
Okay. I feel like we feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean,
you like it a little bit better,
Yeah, I like it a little bit better. Yeah.
but you don't like it. You're under a 9. You don't like it.
It's I like it, but it's unfair, of course, because
It's a Reese scale.
yeah, anywhere you go that you can get these, you can get 35 other things that are going to be better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
From Reese's.
Yes. All 35 from Reese's.
Right.
Totally agree. All right. So now that that's over, what everybody's waiting for.
Yeah.
Walking stories with Cracker Thug this week. I'm gonna help you.
I got 2 this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do this together because I know there's some stuff you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
So as you get to the uncomfortable stuff, I'll just jump in and we'll help each other work through it.
Okay. So I'm walking through Chevois, and this is the day after the first big storm we had, right?
Okay.
So there's stuff blown around, some stuff down. Oops, sorry about that. And you see random things sometimes, and you see random things sometimes anyway, but then after a storm, you never know.
Yes.
I'm walking by.
I it's hard for me to think that what you found was because of a storm.
Yeah, I feel like it could have been like I want to say that it was like hidden somewhere outside maybe so that like somebody else didn't know about it from whoever it was from.
Okay.
Maybe and then that maybe blew from wherever it was being hidden into
Pretty tough to blow one of those around, man. I mean, and it had a suction cup on the back of it, right?
but I don't know that it was probably wasn't suctioned to anything outside.
Aren't you sure?
I mean, it was on the concrete.
When
it
you
was-
saw it.
It was around when I saw it was on the concrete. It looked weathered. It looked real. It looked.
Was it used?
It looked like it had been around a little bit.
Yeah.
It looked like it had been around town, and
We're gonna call it Purple Thunder.
we'll call it Purple Thunder. Purple Thunder. I saw Purple Thunder in the parking lot, like right at the entrance, basically, of a parking lot out in the open, on a busy street, in front of a kids gymnastics
In
place.
front of a kids' gymnastics place. And we know the owner of the gymnastics place. If
Yeah.
you listened to this before, we won't get into details.
Yeah.
But let's just say there used to be a place right next to Vandergrift's,
Mhm.
and it was they kind of rented it out like a little party place, and they would have some like
Still there.
yes. However, Corey, I believe purchased it or did something where that's part of hers now.
Oh,
So she uses that like a like one of her friends does a Zumba class in there and they do some
okay.
yoga stuff in there. So they kind of there's more some more like adult things that get done in there.
Sure.
So
I mean,
I mean, the adult things for sure
yeah.
were getting done with Purple Thunder.
There wasn't. Yeah.
I don't know where you suction it to. Maybe the floor, maybe a wall. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's definitely something for adults.
This is a novelty item, and that's all I need to say about it. And then a and then probably 3 blocks down the street,
The bag it came in.
I think the bag it came in, where you would get a novelty item, a Purple Thunder of sorts.
Was it Larry Flint's or was it Hustler?
Isn't
Not
that Larry Flint's?
yeah, Hustlers. But there's another. Is it? There's another Flint place over is right
Oh,
next to the White Castles I used to go to all the time.
I think it just said Hustler
Dusty
on the
Flint
bag.
or whatever. But that place was like just a place you bought lingerie and stuff.
Oh.
This was. I'm sure that it had
Wait,
these
over
in there
by
as well.
the White Castle right there, where we're talking about on
No,
the.
no, no, no,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
okay.
This is
Not
out
on Harrison.
Sharonville.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. So, this was, I'm sure you guys can figure out what we're talking about. This was a, this was a toy not from a toy store. So,
Purple Thunder. And so the crazy part
it's just
about
laying out in the open.
so laying out in the middle of a parking lot
Mm-hmm.
where kids do gymnastics.
Mm-hmm.
This is at the end of the day, correct?
This was afternoon. This
Oh,
was
okay. Okay.
probably late afternoonish. Yeah. Because then we
4, 5, 3.
Yeah.
Give me some roundabouts. here.
probably about, well, when was the probably I want to say maybe 5-ish. Maybe I'll try to
Okay,
quickly.
so I wonder when the first practice is probably somewhere around that time, I would imagine.
I would think there were no cars in the
So-
parking lot,
right.
maybe one.
So with that being said,
Oh, I sent this at 3:30.
oh wow. So this was definitely before practice would have started during the week.
Yeah. This is when
Luckily it
kids are
wasn't
getting out
there.
of school.
Luckily it wasn't there for the kids as they got there because as you walked back by, Purple Thunder and made its way to the middle of the street.
It was still there when I walked back. Your old boy sent that picture
Oh,
He was over there.
He went to practice
when it was crossing the street.
I wonder if
he
he
got-
picked it up and threw it. Would you pick it up and throw it? Would you pick it up and do something with it?
Of course not.
Even from the suction cup end?
No,
I mean,
no. It was the whole thing was dirty. Okay, the whole thing was dirty, and there are levels of dirtiness.
would
on it,
you
too.
kick it?
Not just what you can see on it.
Would you
okay?
kick it?
No, I don't. No, and these are old crappy shoes at this point. I still wouldn't want to. Nah, I don't. I didn't want to touch it at all. Anyway,
If you got a good wash on it, I wonder if somebody would be into using it.
listen. I'm sure you can. I'm sure you can sanitize
Sure.
to.
Probably want to smooth it back down. I imagine it got
You think
a
I roughed
little
up?
rough. Like, it was out in the middle of the street by the end, but that thing might be missing some chunks out of it.
Yeah, I should have driven back over there today and seen if it was still around.
I can't imagine that.
Somebody
still out
had to
there.
have picked
somebody,
it up.
somebody threw a garbage bag on it and grabbed it
Yeah.
like a dog turd. Take like a Kroger bag, you use that as your glove.
Yep.
Grab it, fold it over, tie it in
What
a
you
little
gotta
knot.
do.
And if you're walking a dog and you got those, you could tie that thing up in the Kroger bag. Everybody just think it's a big old dog turd.
Yeah,
You
that's
get
true.
away with walking around with that thing.
That's true. That's right. I should have done that and just started taking walks with it in the Kroger bag.
You and Purple Thunder.
Just carrying
You'd be walking stories with Purple Thunder instead of walking stories with Cracker Thug.
it.
So me and Purple Thunder were out the other day.
So I'll
The
cover.
officer asked me why you picked up dog poop with no dog.
This was dog poop that was blown over by the storm. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah. It was in somebody's pooper.
All right, before we get too crazy with that, um, so Purple Thunder and I go on the walk the next day, and there's a gal who I think I passed her twice. Was that the same? Might have been the same gal. Second time I passed her, she looks maybe like she had a little history. She also looked weathered. Okay,
Gotcha. It might have been Purple Thunder. She's probably upset because it belonged to her.
might have been
It's
hers.
the only source of joy she has left.
She had that was her only that was her only item she owned. It looks like that maybe. She looked like there could have been some drugs in her past or present, and
Probably future.
and future, and maybe she was housed or unhoused or uh homeless or homeful. I don't know what she was, but she she looked at me, and I always try to at least give a
A
nod,
little head nod.
and she says something that sounded to me like chicken ice. She told me chicken ice.
Chicken ice?
Yeah. Something about chicken
I
ice.
I freeze my chicken.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, she said something that sounded like something chicken ice, and I was like, nodded and
Kept on walking.
didn't know what to do. So something came out of me like, and that was it.
Grumbles.
Yep. And so as I turned back around, I hear her mumble something else that I couldn't pick up, but she was trying to tell me something.
Was she upset?
I don't think so.
No, she's just gabbing. She's just
She-
letting you know about life.
She's like, sometimes you got chicken, sometimes you got ice,
And now we got chicken ice.
and now we got chicken ice. So I that's all I know.
And she probably thought you were on something because your response was.
She probably said something totally legit to me, but
She's probably
sometimes
like, "Hey, look out for that ice
Mhm.
on the street because it's 70 degrees."
Yeah. Yeah, I sometimes, sometimes you speak clearly and sometimes the methamphetamine speak for you. I don't know. She was telling me something and I heard
Absolutely.
chicken ice and that was it.
Absolutely.
Walking stories with chicken ice.
Walking stories. Love it. Love it. Beautiful. I love
Yeah.
a good walking. Or she was talking about the red legs.
She could have been. They
She
were
could have been
they're-
telling, man, that bunch of chicken ices, man. Hey,
they're-
ice cold.
Their bats are ice cold. Their bats are ice cold.
Ellie got himself a torpedo bat, hit a couple bombs, 7 ribeye steaks.
He must have put it back down the next game.
He got a hit. He's one of a few people that had a hit in the next game.
He's doing fine. He's not doing fine in the field. He's doing fine at the plate. He's
He
doing
made a
great at
heck
the
of a
plate.
he made a heck of a diving play behind third.
He's got like 3 errors already or something like that. But
That's what Ellie does, bud.
I don't know.
Why do they not put him in the outfield?
I don't know. I would love to see him try some center field maybe.
I make bet that dude would be sick in center field.
Seems like he would be.
Wonder if there's something him where he's just like, nah, man, this is what I do.
Yeah, he might have.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Reds have done something that has not been done, but has only been done by one other team in the live ball era, which I believe is like somewhere in the 40s.
It's early, yeah.
Yeah, late 20s, early 30s, 40s, somewhere in there is when they consider the live ball era.
Mhm.
No runs in 28 innings.
Yeah, that's and then 2 games before that started, they had 14 runs, I think, right?
Yes.
Ellie had 7 RBIs in that game, and Matt McClain had a great game too. Those guys both look pretty good, but I mean, as a team, the last few days, it's been really bad at the plate.
Oh, yeah. Well, it says beginning in 1920. That's the live ball era. So in 100 years.
Incredible. That's only happened twice, and it's happened to the Reds right now.
Mm-hmm.
Starting pitching's been fantastic.
The bullpen has been fantastic.
After
They've lost 3 1-0 games.
yeah.
1-0.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, was it opening day? I think he and Jabot came in and gave up the lead, but after that, yeah,
The
they've been
last
pretty
team,
good.
1960 Philadelphia Phillies. The Reds became the second team in the live ball era since 1920 to lose three consecutive 1-0 games.
I'll tell you, it stinks. A loss is a loss. It almost doesn't matter. But I would much rather them be losing 1-0 than,
17-2.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Those like, mid 2000s, the Adam Dunn era where
Hmm.
they could put up 12 runs in any game, but their pitching would give up,
Yeah.
however many we scored, the pitching gave
Yeah.
up two or three more. So, um,
Old Scotty Dub would come out there and make sure the other team got it in the ninth. That's for sure.
yeah, yeah,
First 2 years, one of the greatest relief pitchers in the history of the Reds.
yeah, yeah,
Poor Scotty Dub. I always liked him. Looked like a little bulldog out there.
yeah, yeah.
Anyway, Mr.
Yes,
Williamson, a fantastic pitcher. I don't mean anything bad,
through
but
a
I'm
lot
just
of
saying
innings.
through a lot of innings. He was an unbelievable pitcher for the Reds.
Yeah.
Great pitcher. I mean, you're a Major League Baseball pitcher. You're a fan. He still lives in Cincinnati. You got to be careful.
Oh, you're my favorite Red of all time.
Fan of the show. Fan of the show. Anyway, yeah. So the Reds, that's tough, but it's a lot of baseball left, man. There's so much baseball. Teams go through ups and downs and ebbs and flows all the time.
Right.
Speaking of ups and downs and ebbs and flows, I'm trying something new.
Yeah.
So, uh, haven't been doing too much of the betting on the old apps. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Had a little bit of cash in there, and listening to the radio and heard somebody explaining something they do called they bet every home every home underdog at the
Okay.
beginning of a series. Now here's the thing.
Oh, baseball series. Okay.
Baseball series.
Hmm.
So here's the deal. If they win, you take your money that first day and I won.
Oh,
If they lose, you have to double your bet for the next game. Okay?
okay.
If they win, you take your money and run. If they lose, you double it again. So if you win on the first or third day, you're making some decent money. Second day, you've already lost the first two, but and your payback's not as big, but you're still making money. The thought process is that like 80% or more, I think it's like something like 84% of home of 84% of home underdogs do not get swept. Something it's maybe even higher than that. So that you're not gonna make a lot of money, but
Hmm.
you're not gonna lose money. So first week, the first set of series, I did $2 on each one, and I was up, and I was like, I'm gonna do. They all hit by game two. There was like seven of them, I think. Was it seven, five, or seven? I can't remember.
Sorry, is this
So
betting?
you're betting the White Sox, the Mariners, the A's all the time,
Yeah.
basically.
But are you betting on to win the series, or you're
No,
betting?
straight up to win that first game. You're just
Okay.
they're an underdog in that first game. You bet them. Now they might be
Oh, okay.
they may it may be a close series and they're an underdog in the first game, but they're not in the second.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter. Once you make that bet that series, if they lose, you got to keep trying. You're making your money back. Is the point? They're gonna win a game.
Okay.
The point is they're going to win a game in the series. So the first week, $2 a piece. I was up. I don't know, like $7, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do. Actually, it was more than that. I think it was like $20. And I was like, I'm gonna do $5 a game. So I think there's five of them, six of them. I can't remember exactly. Hit a couple the first day, hit a couple the second day, and all I got left are the A's. So you go $5 to $10, then you got to go $10 to $20. And it's like, man, I don't bet $20 on anything,
Mhm.
much less the A's.
Yeah.
However, I was up $27 at the time. I bet the A's and they lost. So second set of series somebody got, but I'm still up $7 total doing this.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to stick with the $5 again.
Oh.
I'm gonna stick with the $5 again. And tomorrow there's a whole new set of series that come out tomorrow. Um, so I gotta do some gotta go look and see who all's the underdogs. But gonna have to basically I'm gonna be betting the White Sox, the Mariners, the Tampa Bay
Rockies.
Rays, yeah, like the worst teams in baseball a lot.
Yeah.
But if they win one game, I always win money.
If you double it each time.
You have to double your bet if they lose. If
That's
you win, if they so like the first one, everybody was done by game two, so I didn't make a bet for like 2 days,
Mhm.
but I made money.
Yeah.
So the key is if you, it's like it's just like well, you get your best ROI, right?
Yeah.
It's your best return on investment.
Hmm. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. The bets that I've done lately are just like I took think when they were in like the Sweet 16 or maybe once the yeah, I think maybe once the Elite 8 was established, which we should talk about for a second too. Um, I I took like I think I took like I left the two most favorite, the whatever the what am I trying to say?
I'm not
Like
sure.
like
The favorites, the
I took like four teams that were like not the two favorites and not the absolute worst. Like
just in the
teams that I
middle.
felt like, yeah, teams that I felt just to win the national championship. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
Yeah,
Were they all
I
number
took like
one seeds? Did you take all number
no.
one seeds?
No, because I didn't because like Duke was like the most likely to win or whatever, so I didn't take them
Yeah.
because I wouldn't make much money. So I think it was maybe
Do you have any number one seeds left?
uh yeah, I think so
So you
on
still have
that
a
bet.
chance to make some money on that
Yeah.
bet.
And I also did the same thing for the NBA. I took like maybe five teams and just put like $1. I'm doing like $1 on those because whatever the odds are, I can make if I hit one of those, I can make all the money back
Sure.
that I put
Right.
into it,
Right.
you know.
Right.
So anyway, that's
Okay. I
those are the
like
kind
it.
of bets I've been doing lately. Um, yes, that was it. There was a young lady in my house today and asked me about if I'm sports bet. Yeah, I didn't know her. So these two gals knock on the old door because they're from one of the energy companies that wants you to switch to them, right? And spoiler alert, I switched to them. And they end up they end up in my house sitting on my couch. It was raining outside, and they asked if they could come in. And I kind of said no a couple of times first, and then but I kept having to go because they wanted me to, you got to check your bill, you got to check your Duke bill, and well, what does this say on the Duke bill? And
How old were they?
so I think they were probably like in their late 20s or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Um,
Adam definitely let him in his house.
yeah. So anyway, yeah, they ended up being in there. And
Were they
I
walking?
switched. They were walking in the rain.
Did they have any Kroger bags?
No.
Okay.
I saw no Kroger bags. I saw no bags of any kind.
Okay.
But they did have their ID badges or whatever. They always make sure they show you that and all that.
Absolutely, because you can't fake
You
those.
can't fake those. That's what I mean. You can't fake those, so it's definitely safe.
Uh,
And
I will say one cool thing about Delhi is they put out a little newsletter deal, and it'll tell you like the approved vendors to be soliciting in Delhi for that time period or whatever.
Mhm.
So you can like see if somebody's there and they've been and it's legit or not.
so the energy company that I was using was a person that stopped me in a Walmart or something
Sure.
like
Yeah.
three years ago or something
Hmm.
like that, and I ended up switching to him, of course. And so she says she's like, uh, did you get with these guys in like a Walmart or something? I'm like, yeah, I think I did. And she's like, oh yeah, see that's so they're in this. You're paying extra because their energy's coming from Philadelphia or something. Ours is coming from Cincinnati, so you won't pay the extra fee to have it. So anyway, that's the whole thing. And
This
I'm like,
energy stuff, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's the biggest racket I've ever heard.
it seems like
Because
it.
you know where it all comes from? Duke.
Well, yeah, they always say like, well, they still handle your bill, and it goes like technically through them or whatever, but they get it from other places and
Guess
stuff
what
like this.
happens if your power lines go down? Guess who comes and fixes it?
Duke.
Duke.
Yeah.
This is some company that is just making a couple bucks off of I don't even know what how they make their money. It makes no sense to me at all. They're
Mhm.
like a broker. That's all they are is a broker. They don't
Yeah.
do anything. They're just like, hey, here's some energy. Hey, well, what if we sell energy to you? Well, where's it coming from? From the energy company? Are you the energy company? No, no, no. We're just the broker for the energy
Mhm.
company. Well, why wouldn't I just buy it from the energy company? Oh, well, their rates can fluctuate and we lock our rates
Right.
in. Well, what's their rates? Well, probably better than ours right now, but they'll fluctuate. Get away from me. This is
Yeah. Yeah, I did.
as I say that, I'm 99% sure we use one of those brokers.
Yeah.
I feel like almost everybody does because they're everywhere.
Yeah. But she was like, is she saying like, "Oh, did you get this? Was this one of those people in a Walmart or something like that?" And when I said, "Yeah," I'm like, and it's exactly the same thing you're doing. You
It-
just came to my house
yeah,
instead of stopping me.
that's the difference. There's no difference.
Yeah.
There's no, you're doing the exact same thing that dude was doing.
And so I have a Ring doorbell so I can see when people come to the door now. The only thing was I had my door open and my storm door is just an all glass thing. And I was sitting right there on the couch. They
Man,
could
that
see in
shit.
and I couldn't like, they could see that I was
Well,
there.
I
So
love
I couldn't.
talking to those people anyway. And I'll tell them straight up, be like, man, I'm not going to do anything. But if you want to work on your sale, I've told people this before. If you want to work on your sales pitch, feel free.
Yeah.
I'll ask all kinds of questions. If you want to do it, let's do it.
Mhm.
And they're like, oh, well, as long as you're going to listen out because they think they can still do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just telling you, like, nothing's coming of this.
Yeah.
And they go through their whole thing and I'll let them do it. And I sit in the driveway because I always tell them, like, nah, you're not, I said, my kids and my wife are inside.
Yeah.
You're not coming inside my house.
This is the
And, well,
first
I
time I've
really,
ever let
it'd
anybody
really
inside.
be nice if I had a table I could, set all this on
Right.
here. And I popped the back of the truck open,
Yeah.
the truck bed. I said, boom, perfect table height. Set your stuff up right here. Let's talk. This is your table. Oh, well, I mean, because that's one of the things they tell you when you're doing that is like if you can get in their house,
Mhm.
right, they'll feel more homey and more apt to purchase
It's the
from you.
opposite for me. I feel way more uncomfortable with you in my house
You
for
still
sure.
did
I let them in
that.
because they were ladies. It was raining outside, and one of them was
What a
very attractive.
gentleman.
But
What a gentleman. Which
yeah.
one did the talking?
So when I opened the door, the one that was, I mean, now let me tell you this. I believe that all women are beautiful. Okay. There was one today that was significantly more beautiful than the other. The one that was slightly less beautiful started talking, and then the other one took over after that, and she's the one that ended up sitting next to me on the couch. Lucky for me. Except I was so embarrassed because I like all week by the way, I had clean clothes sitting on my chair, on my recliner over there.
Yeah.
Um, Undies on top,
Yeah.
unfolded yet.
Boxer briefs? Are
Yeah,
we boxers? Are we
boxer briefs.
briefs?
Boxer
Boxer
briefs.
briefs?
Yeah, I
Nah,
mean,
you're good then. They're like, that's
are,
a real man.
are there any adults
Do
who wear briefs
I think you have I don't I are there
in
in
2025?
2025 are there adults that wear boxers?
I know. Yeah, yeah. I was looking because I was out at the store looking for new undies the other day, and I looked and I looked and I looked and I didn't buy any because I'm just like this. It's so important to have really comfortable undies,
Absolutely.
and I just didn't
I
want to
wish
take
you
any
could
chances.
try on underwear.
I know. I mean I don't, but I wish. Yeah, I wish you could.
I wish there was some kind of magic way to have clean underwear I could try on, throw them away, and say,
Yeah,
"Yep, that's the one for me."
that'd be 100% right.
Because, dude, like I got some underwear fit awesome. It was great, and then I got the exact same stuff again, and it was not the same fit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I might be getting, and that's when I was thinking about that too the other day when I was looking for those. Story after story, I'm like getting off on these.
No, this
Anyway,
is the funnest part.
okay. I'm thinking like underwear is one of those things. Once you get to a certain age, you have to be willing to spend a little extra money
I
on that
totally
kind of
agree.
thing. That's
Totally
one of the
agree. Yep.
things you got to spend
Hmm.
extra money on. So anyway, so I didn't come. I bought all kinds of other clothes I didn't need. I did not come away with underwear. I bought sweatpants and sweatshirts, and it's gonna be 80 degrees every day
I
for
can't buy sweatpants.
yeah.
I've got the same two pairs of sweatpants and they're all falling apart. I don't know what I'm gonna do. The last pair of sweatpants I didn't want to buy. I thought they were too tight and they're baggy considered. I can't wear these. I can't wear what you have on.
Yeah.
I feel like my ankles are choking.
What does it feel like for your ankles to be choking? Can they not breathe?
Yeah, pretty
Something
much.
not getting to your legs?
Like it just doesn't feel like the jogger is not. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think I've ever worn them, so I could be wrong. Because everybody wears them, but it's because you have to if you buy a pair of sweatpants. They don't make my. I got a pair of old Jordan sweatpants.
Mhm.
Dude, these things are.
You fit three of you in them.
Woo, boy, they're my favorite.
Yeah.
Got a little hole in the back.
Mhm.
Like, man, I got to wear black underwear when I wear them.
Yeah.
Black boxer briefs, of course.
Mhm.
That way, because they're black, so nobody can tell I got a hole in the back of my pants.
Yep.
It's very small, but it's gonna get bigger.
Yeah.
And then I got a gray pair that are a little bit tighter, so but I still like them. But they're starting to get a little hole in the crotch area because I'm always picking and pulling and prying and tweezing.
Mhm.
So, um, yeah,
A lot of tweezing.
a lot of tweezing.
I was going through the
I mean, you
same.
got to use tweezers, so it's the only way to get a hold of it. It ain't no Purple Thunder, I can tell you that.
um, I was going through the same thing when I was looking because I was looking for some shorts too the other day.
Titus looking son.
I was looking for shorts the other
Mhm.
day, and I same thing. I'm like, I was in Target and like if they had 20 different types of pairs of shorts, different brands and stuff, maybe one of them had like a normal length. Like they're all, and I'll wear shorts shorter than I used to for sure.
You have to.
kind of adjust with the style a little bit and stuff. But I mean, I'm talking when you're standing up
Dude,
and they're up here.
dude.
When you sit down, they're bikinis.
Yes.
They're
boxer
they're
briefs. I see. Do you know how many kids I've seen walking around where their boxer briefs are hanging below their shorts?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
You know, it's just it's too short for me. I saw like one pair that I was
How?
like I could probably wear those, but I didn't like the color or something like that. But anyway, yeah, I was going through the same thing with the shorts as you were talking about with the sweatpants.
I need some Stefan Marbury's. I need some Drew Lavenders. I need some. I need some some Chris Webbers, Jalen Roses. I need some Michael Jordans. That's what I need is some MJs. I think MJ started the whole fad.
Yeah, his baggy shorts were like what short shorts are now, though. I think because
Yeah, I mean
not
they
quite.
still went to his knee though. That was my thing. At St. Dominic in eighth grade, they bought like a few pairs of new pants, right? New shorts for basketball, and only the eighth grade team got them. That was the only team that got them.
Mhm.
So like I made seventh grade team. Like, man, I mean, I know I ain't that good. Like, I'm at the back end of the seventh grade team. I hope I make this eighth grade because I'm tired of wearing bike shorts
Mhm.
underneath my mom's bike shorts because I don't own bike shorts underneath my basketball shorts. Man, that's what I was most excited about was that I got shorts that went, at least an inch or two from my knee.
Yeah.
And that was like the MJ style then, right? MJ was the one that started it, and then the Fab Five kind of made it popular.
Yeah.
And then after that, it got out of hand. Drew
Yeah.
Lavender. I don't know if you've ever seen if you remember Drew Lavender. He was a McDonald's All American, went to Oklahoma, and ended up transferring to Xavier. That dude, I don't know how he did a crossover
Mm-hmm.
because the crotch of his pants was like only a ball could fit between it and the floor.
Yeah.
So, dude, I was like, those are the shorts I want. I want those shorts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yep. We wore them real big back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still got quite a few pair. stuck in the elastics wearing out of a bunch of them. I got the drawstring tied up on them. Makes it hard to pee when you're out in public because you gotta like tug that drawstring down because it's in a knot nobody can get out by
Yeah,
now.
100%. 100%. I got knots that are older than my nieces and nephews and some shorts, man. I got I got some I have knots older than the kids I coach for sure.
Mhm.
And yeah.
No doubt.
Um so my undies were just sitting out.
No. Oh, that's right.
Undies were sitting out.
You got a lady friend over
And I yeah, yeah. I do
and
have her personal phone number now
and
because
her
if
friend
anything,
too.
yeah, because if anything happens, I should call her.
Hmm.
Anyway,
Oh, that poor. She gotta give that out to a lot of people.
I know.
You know, she that ain't her personal cell phone. That is her
No,
work phone. She carrying
yeah,
around two phones.
100%,
Yeah.
100%. Um, so anyway, yeah, but she's like, as we're going through this thing, and then they got to call if you say yes, they got to call the company, and you go through this thing, and you got to
Oh,
answer all these questions with the person on the phone, and so anyway, went through all that, um, and she's asking me just questions like that. Oh, they just moved here from New York. What are some good things to do here? Where should we go? I'm like, I told her, you are talking to the most boring person you will ever meet. I don't know. I don't know where you should go or what you should do. I
yep.
have no idea. I said,
But if you find out and want to take me, give me a call.
yeah. She said something like, because she saw I've got two of my nieces on my wallpaper on my phone. She's like, oh, is that your daughter or something? I was like, no, these are my nieces. And she's like, oh, you don't have kids? I said, no. And she's like, oh, smart or something, made whatever joke. And so it sounded like she might have them, but they said they live downtown, and I'm like, how do you live downtown? How does anybody live downtown? But I was like, yeah, there's all kinds of bars and stuff like that. I was like, I don't do any of that stuff. She's like, yeah, I don't really either. So I was just like kind of hoping to find something else. I'm like, well, we got the Reds
I
and
was
the
just gonna say, well,
Bengals.
there's these two big stadiums down
Yeah.
there. Usually something's going on.
She's like, yeah, I'm so sick of all the Bengals stuff around here. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Okay, well, you're in Cincinnati, so
Yeah.
get used to it.
She's like, I'm a football fan, but she's like, I'm a Ravens fan, and I'm like, okay, whatever. And then and I was like, she said something. I'm like, oh, I'm a basketball guy, and she's like, oh, who's your team? And I said, well, I got tickets to the Pacers, and what? No way. She's like, well, I'm an OKC fan. So she's from New York, Brooklyn. She's a Ravens
Ravens fan
fan
and
and
an
an OKC
OKC fan.
Thunder fan. How are you from New York? And look, I get the Giants and Jets both stink. How are you not a Knicks fan or even a Brooklyn Nets fan? Anyway,
I mean, the media there treats both those teams like dog dirt. So
yeah,
if you pay attention to media, then you probably don't like either of them anyway.
that's true. But the Knicks are
And if
good
she's
now.
young, she's never grew up with a good Knicks
Yeah.
team outside of maybe the when
Allen Houston, that's the last time they were good.
I was gonna say there was a year there with Carmelo,
Mm,
um, Smith,
J.R. Smith.
yeah, J.R. Smith,
Mhm.
Iman Shumpert was there for, like that. Carmelo Anthony talks like that was they were about to be amazing,
Mm.
and then Shump and Smith both went to Cleveland and it killed it. He
Yeah.
like Carmelo. I was just listening to a podcast with Carmelo, and he's talking about how pissed he was at LeBron.
Yeah, I don't know that they were ever they were ever
Dude,
that
J.R.
good.
Smith was good. J.R.
Yeah,
Smith's a
yeah.
great basketball player.
I mean those Knicks teams because like they're.
I no, he said like on the verge.
Yeah,
He felt like they were on the verge of getting where he wanted them to be.
yeah. Hmm. Anyway, um,
At that point, didn't they just draft the unicorn too? Porzingis
yeah, I
or
don't know
no?
if he
Porzingis. Carmelo was gone when
that
Porzingis
might
got
have
there.
been yeah.
He was gone by then.
Yeah.
I could be
Anyway,
wrong. I don't know, or he wasn't there yet. I don't know. God, Porzingis has been in
yeah.
the league for a long time too,
He
hasn't
has been.
he? Oh boy's old, dude.
He has been, and he's missed as much time as he's played.
Yes, he has. Still really good when he's in.
Question for you:
Okay.
prediction for the Reds this year? Where do they finish? How well do they do? How poorly do they do?
Let's go second place, out of the wild card, 84 games.
84 wins.
80, man, let's go 87.
87 wins.
Hmm.
You think that'll be out of the playoffs or out of the wild card?
I don't know. Maybe. Sure. Yeah.
Really?
Whatever wins will get them like a game out of the wild card is where they'll be.
Okay.
So maybe that's 84. Maybe 84 is a better number.
Okay.
Isn't it crazy how 84 and 87 in 162 games, 3 games is like
That's a big
legit.
deal.
And then the people are like, "Oh, well, he's just sitting out one game. It's not a big deal." Yeah, that's a big deal.
Hmm.
Like this comes down to like everybody wins and loses this many games outside of maybe 2 teams that kill it and 2 teams that suck. Everybody else is like within 8 or 10 games.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So they're good, not great. They're not quite good enough to make the playoffs. I'm pretty much right there with you. I think they probably so if it's 84 games, they'd be 84 and 78, right?
Sure.
84 and 70. Yeah. So I can see 78 and 84 or something like that. I think they're probably on
You
just
think they're
on the other,
underneath, under 500?
probably
Dude,
just
their
barely.
pitching staff is so their pitching staff is really good.
I feel
Matt
pretty good.
McClain is really good.
Yeah.
Ellie De La Cruz is on the verge of being a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not just really good, a superstar.
Yep.
Um, I mean, then the rest of the team are all just pieces, but everybody on that team can get hot.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can.
Yeah.
So I mean, TJ Friedel, you've got Candelario who started off hot.
Yeah.
You got who's the dude in the yellow with the yellow necklace that they've been trying to get hot. He got 50-game suspension a couple years ago.
Oh. Oh.
Is he still there?
Noelle Marte?
Yeah, isn't Marte still there? Or is he gone?
He started in AAA.
Oh, okay.
He's there
I was
right
gonna
now.
say I know he was on
Yeah.
he was in spring training. Anyway, there's possibilities, right? Spencer Steer's got to start hitting at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Fraley.
yeah, and Fraley and not Friedel. That's what I meant to say was Fraley. And you got Stevenson who's going to be back pretty soon, and
Mhm.
yeah, I mean they've got a squad. It's not there, but they've got a squad,
Yeah.
and that pitching staff is going to be pretty. This is might be the best year. This might be the best pitching staff we've had in 5 years.
When you say pitching staff, I'm so far, of course, we're only a week into the season or whatever, but the starting pitching looks fantastic. I still have a lot of question marks about the bullpen. I hope because there's several guys who were here last year, the last couple of years, and they were very up and down. And I'm still a little. I think the bullpen's a little suspect. They could definitely pitch really well overall, and they're capable of that, I think.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to be one of the best bullpens in the game or anything like that. And I don't think the lineup's going to be. I know I'm talking about that right now after they've not scored. They haven't scored in a long time, but. Outside of Ellie and McLean, I like everybody else except everybody else has gotten hot and has also gone on long streaks without hitting. And it just, I don't know. I'm usually overly optimistic every year coming in, and now I'm starting to even out. I think like
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be bad or anything. There are a couple publications, couple experts or whatever. I think Kirchin may have even said like they could be a playoff team. They could win the division and all that kind of stuff. I don't know that they're there,
Yeah.
but I think they'll be fun to watch. And this is the first time in 3 years, by the way, I'm going to be able to watch Reds games. I didn't have
How'd you get FanDuel?
just bought it.
I just bought it.
It's 20
Yeah.
bucks a month. I'm paying the 20 bucks a month.
$20 a month.
Yeah.
They had a thing on FanDuel app that if you made a $5 bet, you could get it for free for 3 months.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm gonna wait just a little bit,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna do it like a month into the season so I can get the bulk of the season.
Yep.
It's gone. The deal's gone.
Oh.
I was
So like an opening day deal or
I
something like
guess,
that.
man. I was so bummed out, dude.
Yeah.
I still use my dad's DirecTV app, but he only gets 2 viewers, so my sister will watch it a lot too, and I don't want to do that to him. So
Yeah.
just I still do the MLB app the audio, and
Yep.
I just play just listen to Tommy and Brantley.
Yep. Okay. All right. There's our baseball situation going on this year.
Speaking of baseball,
Yeah.
um, you have mentioned in the past how big of a Burt Blyleven fan you were.
Bert Blyleven is it goes it goes Greg Maddux, Bert Blyleven, Nolan Ryan, Randy
Cy Young,
Johnson, Cy Young. Yeah, huge Bert Blyleven guy.
huge, huge, huge,
Huge.
huge,
Yeah.
huge. Oh man.
Bertie Blyleven.
So
Bert be home Blyleven.
but speaking of that, by the way,
Yeah.
even though Bert was one of your favorites, did you know that we have a Mount Rushmore of the most of Berts?
I did.
Oh man, that's awesome.
I did.
So, do you want to get us started?
Sure, I'll get us started.
Let's do it.
Um here so Bert was gosh, a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Oh boy. Did I had to see if BURT worked the same as BERT because
Hmm,
I just added them both under the same because they both
okay.
sound like Bert to me because
Yeah.
I let them both be the same. I hope that's okay.
Sure. Sure. Let's see. Do I have but maybe I only did BE. But I don't know of
Oh,
any
well then let
other.
me go first.
Okay.
Let me go first because the BURT was probably my number one.
Okay.
Not even close.
Maybe there's somebody I'm missing then.
By far, Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. I did see him.
Burt Reynolds is number one.
Yeah.
Burt Reynolds is the man. I'm gonna have Burt Blyleven on mine. Got to have a sports guy in there, right?
Sure.
Burt Young. I feel like Burt Young is gonna be on mine just because of. Uh, so, do you know who Burt Young is?
I remember seeing that. Do I have him on here?
Paulie. It's Paulie from Rocky, the Rocky
That's
movies.
right. I was thinking of somebody else.
Fantastic. My favorite character in all the Rocky movies. And he's in a bunch of other movies too. Burt Young. So if you know Paulie from that, that's who that is.
Happy birthday, Polly.
And
The
man, from
robot.
there, yeah, from there, dude, I mean, you pretty much got, you got I guess I'm putting Bert Kreischer on there.
Okay.
I mean, there's some people here, you've got football coaches and what is this? This guy was a producer and actor, but I don't know who Bert Convey is. I mean, a lot of these people are just nobodies.
Hmm.
They're just nobodies.
Yeah.
Um,
Or there's
there's
somebody's that I don't know about.
there's not a lot of Berts.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm gonna go Burt Reynolds.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Burt Blyleven, Burt Young, and Burt Kreischer.
Burt Young, that's a good one.
Two BERTs and two BURTs.
Okay. All right. Um, Number one for me is Bert from Bert and Ernie.
Oh gosh darn it! I totally forgot that we talked about him too. You know what though?
He was kind of the grump.
I don't know that Bert makes my. I didn't never liked Bert.
Okay.
I was always an Ernie guy.
Sure. Yeah.
I mean, Bert just kind of looked like a banana with hair on top.
He looked like a uh Anthony Davis's banana brother.
Mm-hmm.
Bert from Bert and Ernie is
Two
one for me.
fantastic unibrows.
Yeah. Bert Blyleven. Bert
Perfect.
Blyleven, Hall of Fame pitcher. You might not like this one.
Uh-oh.
There's only one person that listens to this podcast that's gonna know what I'm talking about. Bert Miller was a character on one episode of the Andy Griffith Show. He was a he was a traveling
Shout out to Uncle Jim.
he was a traveling salesman, and he went door to door, and he would come through Mayberry sometimes.
Is Bert his real name or was Bert his character name?
Character name.
That's totally fine. I'm totally fine with that.
Thank you. But his thing was he did not like a pushy salesman. So he was not only not pushy, he was like people would be like, "Hey, can I get like Andy was like, "Hey, can I get some socks or something like that?" He's like, I don't want to, I don't want to push anything on you. I'll let you borrow my socks. You don't have to, you don't have to buy socks if you don't, maybe I can find some. He was like, he was
Gotcha.
so
Okay.
non-pushy that he was like a pushover.
Right.
Um, like he's the kind of guy that would like just let strangers into his house that showed up on his doorstep, right?
Yeah. And buy something from them,
Right.
even though he's
Even
the
though he's
salesman.
trying to sell, right? Bert Miller.
Oh, he's just Adam Schmidt.
The last one, the last one I'm putting on there is Bert Lahr,
I saw him.
Lahr,
Yep.
the Cowardly Lion
Yep.
in The Wizard of Oz.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Good job, good acting job in that
Yeah.
movie.
I mean, he had a good movie. Burt Young's only on there because he had four great movies.
I mean, I can look up his IMDb. I'm sure he was in more than one
Yeah,
movie.
you're probably right.
You
I
know?
thought he was better as the farmhand in Wizard of Oz than he was as the Cowardly Lion, but
Yeah.
eh,
Yeah.
to each their own.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I did see him too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bert Lahr, not bad.
That's my four.
That was about as piss poor as anything can get. That might have been the worst.
It was hard.
That might have been the worst Mount Rushmore we've ever done. I apologize.
It was hard. Oh, speaking of that, did I write? Anyway, go. Okay. So
So that takes us to Bert Kreischer.
yeah.
What was the name of this?
The name of this one was Lucky.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
Bert Kreischer. First off, fantastic outfit that he came in.
Okay.
Wish he would have kept the jacket on. I get the shirt off thing, right? Like it is what it is. It's part of the gimmick. It's always going to happen. I'm good with it. I love that he lost 45 pounds and you don't know that he lost 45 pounds. That's got to be my favorite part of the whole special. He's very, very proud of it and he should be.
Yeah.
Good for him.
But you're gonna have to look up a picture of him
You're-
45 pounds heavier.
You're going to have to find him, yeah, to really know what the difference is. He said, you really let it go. All right, so I got to think really hard about this because this was 2 weeks ago. I know what I rated it, which I think was better than you. I think it's gonna be better than what you rated it.
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised with it. Like, not surprised. Bert knows what he's doing,
Oh, yeah.
right? He is good at what he does. He's gonna make fun of himself. He's gonna make fun of his family. He is not gonna be the guy that's like, I'm so cool, I'm so awesome, I've done all this. He can make you understand that and never one time make it sound like he's talking about himself.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. That's awesome. So now on podcasts, he talks about himself and in situations he gets into all the time that make him sound like a prissy, a prissy famous person. But this is not a podcast. This is the special. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. I liked it. I laughed pretty consistently throughout this whole thing.
Okay.
Some of it was like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Makes fun of his kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's my favorite part. I make fun of all three of them. I make fun of all three of them. They all have their flaws, and I'll be out in public. I joke about all of them. I have no problem telling people about how dumb my kids are, how smart they are, and how stupid they are at the same time. Like when I say dumb, I don't mean dumb like
No.
none of them are dumb, but they do
When they do
dumb
dumb
things. Yeah,
Like everybody does. Yeah.
every kid does.
Yeah.
And I love that, right? The smoking weed with Snoop Dogg thing was not gonna lie, like we all knew that he wasn't talking about getting in the shower. I didn't know what it was, but it obviously wasn't getting in the shower. I still liked the joke. I still was laughing as he went through that. And I thought that was the worst joke.
Yeah.
I thought the Snoop Dogg joke was the worst. It was too obvious that that's obviously not what Snoop Dogg. Like, is he trying to, like, I don't know if he was trying to make it out like a Diddy party kind of thing. Like, is this what's going on? But it didn't, like, nah, man, it's Snoop, dude. That ain't, come on.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a little over exaggerated, like most things are. But at the same time, uh, I still laughed during it. I don't know what it is about him that makes me laugh. The dog dying, all the stories he told with that. I loved it. The going places with his kids and his one daughter. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good question for the for the crowd, Dad. Isla. She's the funny one. Isla's the one I like the best.
Mm-hmm.
George is too smart for me. And Leanne, I didn't realize she was that big of a hillbilly. But the joke about the little boy, his whatever his step cousin or whatever that thing is, he said they kin, they ain't blood.
Yeah.
That's my favorite. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I did enjoy it. I laughed hard. I know that you're not the biggest Bert Kreischer fan, just like I'm not the biggest Jim Gaffigan fan. So I'm sure we'll be different on this.
Yeah.
But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I laughed pretty much the whole time.
Wow. Good. Yep. It was for me it was
Opposite.
well, not opposite. It was, he exactly. Yeah, I think you said it perfect. Like he knows what he's doing. He's gonna play to his audience too. Like the
100%.
way he does his the shirt thing, the talking about how much he drinks and how
Hmm.
much he parties and all that kind. Like that's he's always gonna be talking about that stuff because that's like a big part of what his audience, the reason his audience comes out to see him.
And if you want to make money, he knows how to make money. So go make that money. Yeah.
That's the biggest thing for me. I'm not a bit. I don't think I can think of 50 comedians that I think are funnier than him. But Bert Kreischer is so good for comedy because of all the shows, the tours that he
Oh
puts
yeah,
on,
yeah, yeah.
the stuff that he does for
He,
other
I
comics.
was just gonna say I've never heard another comic say a bad thing about Bert Kreischer
Yeah,
ever.
yeah. It's he does so much for the comedy industry. Um, and
And
so
for a fat slob, lazy, drug smoking drinker, the dude, like in real life, legit, he might be one of the hardest workers out there.
yeah,
If you listen to any podcast he's been on or just any of the shows that he's put together, this dude is a legit worker.
he's like a almost more like a business mogul or something now.
Sure.
Um, so yeah, so that's where I'm split on Bert because if he didn't do all that stuff, if he was just a comedian, I'd be like, this guy, I don't ever need to hear him again, But he's a veteran. Obviously, he's been doing it for a long time, so he's definitely gotten better. And this was, I think this might have been better than the last one. I thought.
I agree. I wasn't the biggest fan of the last one. I think that's why I wasn't super stoked about this one,
Hmm.
just because the last one kind of brought me down a little. But
Sure.
anyway,
Yeah, he had some things that weren't bad, that were kind of funny. I wasn't laughing much, but it was more just watching the show.
hmm,
But I don't know. It was okay. Like it wasn't that funny to me. But Bert is Bert. You kind of know what to expect, and he's gonna give it
absolutely.
to you
Yeah.
every time.
We definitely have our two, like Bert Kreischer is Jim Gaffigan.
Yeah, you feel the same way,
I gave him a 4.1 on
Bert.
this special.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, 2.9.
I was gonna say this is how we do things. We're not that far off on a lot of comedians,
No, we agree on most of them.
but I feel like Bert Kreischer for me is a lot like what Jim Gaffigan is for you. I'm not acting like he's my favorite,
Mhm.
but I did laugh most of the time. Now, am I more that guy, right? Like I've almost finished not just a small glass of vodka, but this was filled to the top with ice.
I thought that was your water.
Right? So I get his right, I get a little bit of the humor, but I did. I did laugh most of the time.
Yeah. I think my favorite thing about it was he comes out and he takes that shirt off or whatever jacket or whatever it was. He throws it up in the air, and I think he even turns around like to his back, like his back to it, and it lands on the microphone stand.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't think he was
No
trying to
chance.
do that.
Because then he took it and slung it off to the side.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
no
And
chance.
he was like, he turned around and saw it, and like everybody cheers, like, oh. He also, the only other note I wrote down was he said something about the Helen Keller and Frank. He didn't know.
We just had two specials on. We just did two podcasts. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
We did two podcasts on the fact that I literally said I don't know I can't remember which one's which sometimes.
Yep. And
And
I've been the same way
and
too.
we talked about both Helen Keller and Anne Frank, and he brought that up and was laughing about it. Oh my god, that was so good.
Yeah. Yep.
She wrote a book. Making her waffle iron. She burned her hand on a waffle iron. She was reading it because she thought it was Braille or whatever. Oh my God, it's so good. Like, they're like, it's what are you talking about? Do you think Anne Frank is Helen Keller?
Oh my God.
Getting laughed at in the middle of a Holocaust museum.
Hmm.
So anyway,
Yeah.
dude, there's so many specials out right now.
I know. I went, so there was a special that came out a few weeks ago that I'm excited about,
Okay.
and I waited to watch it, um, not only for this, but because last week I went and saw him live, and I just wanted to. I thought he'd be doing mostly new stuff, live because he had just released the special, but I wasn't sure. So
Well, we're about to find out.
yeah, um, so Nick Thune is
Is this a YouTube?
this is on YouTube. He released it on so he's been touring. He was touring for a while with Nate. So he released it on because Nate has probably the most followers of anybody on YouTube on the Nate Land YouTube account.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So yeah, Nate's been doing that for a bunch of people that
that's
have
pretty
worked with him
cool.
because it
Yeah, he can.
gets him going out there. Yeah. So it's called Born Young. Born Young. Nick Thune has a history of funny titles for his specials. Thick Noon is one of my favorites. Nick Thune, Thick Noon. Uh,
That's good.
yeah. So this one's called Born Young because, of course, and it's on YouTube, and I'm excited for it.
Love it.
Yeah.
I just found out somehow my Hulu password. I was kicked off of my Hulu account. How does that happen?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, how does that happen? So I was gonna get on to see if any of these new ones, because we were talking about Hulu the other day. Oh, okay, it's working. And there are so many new ones coming out on Hulu. Gaffigan's coming out on there, and I was gonna give you my login stuff if you wanted to do it.
Go.
But anyway, I'm just typing to see if any of them have actually came out yet. Um,
I thought I heard they were doing like one a month.
yeah, it was. I don't know which ones came out.
I feel like Bill Burr, somebody else big, and then maybe somebody that I was like,
Sebastian,
maybe Sebastian.
Sebastian's got one on there. Bill Burr's got one on there. Um, oh, obviously Gaffigan is coming out with one, but there's somebody else in those commercials. Who else is in the commercials besides those
Oh.
three?
Mm,
You've had to seen them
yeah, I can't think of it. I don't know.
anyway.
I feel like I've seen the who's all supposed to be coming out, but I can't remember now.
Oh, it looks like Gaffigan might have been the first one.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Oh no, it's 2024. Yeah, it's called The Skinny.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it must have been the end of 2024.
Yeah.
So Gaffigan's got one out. Oh, no, that's on HBO. So right now, that's the only one. So yeah, just going through those. Oh, wait. Did we watch Dirt Nap? We did, right? With Kyle Kinane last year?
Yeah.
Bill Burr. Bill Burr, is this out? This is out.
Yeah. I felt like he was out.
Drop Dead Years. Yep. So Bill Burr is out. So there's a few of them here, man. Yeah, there's at least two that
Yeah.
are the two that are out. So, but Sebastian's gonna have one come out, and Maniscalco, Roy Wood Jr.
Yes.
has one out. That's the
Oh,
other one,
cool. I forgot.
2025. Yeah, he's on here. I thought there was a female that had one too, but
Yeah. Pretty sure there is.
anyway, is it Brittany Schmidt? Nope, that was
Mm,
2022.
is that
Anyway,
Uncle Brittany?
I'm just popping things on here.
Okay.
So we've got that plus a couple really good ones came out on Netflix. Dude, how do we do this? We've missed a lot.
I know.
We've missed a lot.
I mean I've watched some that I was like, we might do this, we might not, but I'm gonna watch it
Mm-hmm.
now anyway. And
Mm-hmm.
or it's 6 months past and I'm
Yeah,
like, well, I guess
I
we might
guess
not
we're
do this
probably
one.
not doing this one.
I'll
Yeah.
just watch it.
Man, when we first started doing this, like we were struggling to find things.
Yeah, we were doing old ones.
We are in
Eddie Murphy Raw.
legit. We are in like we're in one of the best ever times for comedy.
Easily. Yes.
Unbelievable,
Yeah.
man. Unbelievable.
Yep.
And not to mention that we might have one of the biggest up and coming comics in studio every week.
Um, I don't know. Um somebody's not here.
Yeah, you are. So possibly speaking of atoms that are popular, Adam Baum might
Well,
be coming
mhm.
on with us next week.
Yeah.
Hopefully, says he should be able to do it. So we got a lot of Richard Pitino stuff. We got the final episode of All In.
Mhm.
A lot of things to chat Adam up with. So
So I gotta watch that.
yeah, so that'll be something good. But yeah, I don't know that I'm ready to talk too much about your comedy career outside of the special we've talked about.
I don't have one.
But I think sometime soon we may have to go over some things on the podcast.
Okay.
I've got to find a way to. This is the end of the podcast, so this is perfect time to talk about this to make you feel more comfortable. I've got to find a way. I get done with baseball on Wednesdays at like 8:30.
Mhm.
I can get the kids home and get out to Mount Adams. It's gonna take about an hour to do the
Mount
whole thing.
Mount
Oh,
Lookout
it's Mount Lookout.
on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
It's gonna take about an hour for me to do the whole thing. But I want to be your videographer. I want to no, I'm serious. Like all the best guys, they record themselves, right? They go back, watch it. They do the jokes differently,
Mhm.
and they go back and watch them, and that's how they tweak things. Am I wrong? Isn't that what they do? Is don't a lot of people
A lot of people
record
do that.
all their stuff?
A lot of
Even
people
the
do
big guys, they'll record even their little side sessions.
that. Yeah. Some guys will do that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
If I come in
I
there with a camera, they're gonna like kick me out.
I don't know. You might. I mean, you'd probably have to ask.
I'm not gonna ask them. Be like, hey, my dude's about to do a stand
Yeah.
up, and I'm gonna
If you
record
just
him.
hold your phone up, nobody's gonna. Yeah,
Yeah,
nobody's gonna care about that. Um, but also nobody's gonna care about that. Like if you record it and it goes anywhere, it's not
I'm
gonna
putting a tripod up, man, having the whole thing set up, bro.
bring these lights with you if you
Yeah,
can.
absolutely. You know the lighting sucks in these joints.
It does. The one on Wednesday is the best one. So hopefully that yeah. Anyway, and it starts about 9:30. The comedy portion starts about 9:30
Okay.
on Wednesdays. So anyway, but yeah, it was one of the guys that I from the class that I took
Hmm.
saw that I was gonna do an open mic or whatever, and he private messaged me or whatever and was asking me about it, and
Yeah.
he's gonna do one now in like a couple months, and
Nice.
yep. So he was asking me like the difference between our class and the open mics and that kind of stuff. So it was
And
fun.
Adam was like, well,
Fun to
people
talk.
came to watch us at the end
Yeah,
of our class.
that's
There's nobody here to watch
that's
us
exactly what
for
exactly
this.
what I told him.
That's the first thing I would say. Like, don't expect anything of the applause or anything that you got there. Like, if you want to know if you're good, make these people laugh.
In fact, the last one I did on Monday was terrible
Yeah.
because that afternoon I tried to like punch up some of the jokes that I already had.
Yeah.
And so I was trying to remember new lines that I had just written.
Oh
And
man.
at the same time, there were people at this bar who there weren't very many people besides the people that were there to do comedy, but there was a little group of people who were these young these two incredibly like model girls, and the guys that were with them looked just as good as they
Yeah.
did.
Like
It was
incredibly beautiful people.
yes, and they were loud and obnoxious and disrespectful the whole time. They had people like this one dude that I have seen a couple of times now, and he's been nice enough to be like, "Hey, Adam, what's up?" And because I'm still like kind of keeping to myself
Yeah.
because it's still
Yeah.
very new.
Yeah.
But he's been real nice, and he got up there for his set, and he went before me, and he like first thing he's like, "Hey," because they were being loud for other people. He's like, "Hey, just want to let everybody know, at a comedy show, you generally when someone's standing in front of if someone's standing on a stage or in front of a room with a microphone, you generally let other people listen to them, and he was started doing that stuff. But
I truly believe that would be the only comedy I think I would be good at.
what's that?
Berating people
Oh, just like
that
sarcastic.
are sarcastically berating people that are terrible people.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like that's the only thing I would be good at in comedy.
And then when I got up there and I'm fumbling because I'm trying to remember new lines,
And they're
and then I
talking and
hear
going,
them, and then I hear the host of the show in the back of the room yelling at them to shut the blank up during it, like loudly in the middle of my
Jesus
set.
Christ. I
I'm
can't
like, I just like kind of stopped a couple of times, like I can't, my brain
because
is not
you're not polished enough to be able to stop,
exactly.
make a sly comment. That I okay. We need to chat up. I want to be your sly comment guy.
Well, so when I got up there, they went to like the back of the bar and like around this little corner. So I actually couldn't even see them, but it's still like open
Yeah, it's
there.
still open.
So they were, in matter of fact, there was a Papa Shop back there, and the whole time I'm looking back there, like, get this thing over with. I want to
That's a
play.
but dude, to add it in.
Yeah.
Can't tell you guys how difficult this is for me. Not standing in front of you guys doing the jokes. There's a Papa Shop back there that
Mhm.
no one is using.
Mhm.
I just want to go spend $50 back there
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah. I just want to play until I break the record, and then I'm fine.
Then I'm done.
I'm done.
It might be the first try. And there's only two people that would laugh at that. And I'm one of them for sure. Everybody else would be like, so go play Papa Shop.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You guys don't understand how important that is to me. Uh, no, but anyway, so it was, but I felt like, I don't want to like make excuses. Like I stumbled and didn't do well, and I was the last person on the whole thing
Oh,
of the whole night too.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
cool thing is if you bomb, that's a good thing. Everybody bombs. You
yeah,
gotta bomb.
that's what I was gonna say because I thought I was probably gonna see the host at the show on Wednesday at the other open mic. And so I was gonna like thank her for trying to get those
Hmm.
people to be quiet. And I felt like I probably needed to experience that. Like if I'm gonna keep trying this, that
Absolutely.
I need to experience that anyway.
You
So
haven't, that's the closest to a heckle you've gotten.
yeah, just people
I
being
feel
loud.
like there are comedians that like they enjoy a heckle because they feel like it can help them
Hmm.
because they've got that sly remark, boom,
Yeah.
ready to go, right? Like that sarcastic. I've got the microphone. I'm louder. I'm gonna make fun of you. Everyone's gonna laugh. I win, right? Like that's easy. That's easy for
I'm gonna
some of them.
make you look bad for disrupting the show. Yeah.
Yes, that's easy for most people. I think feel like that's the hard. That would be really hard for you.
Yes, you're 100% right.
That's the
Yep.
only thing I feel like I would be good at in comedy.
See, yeah, we would be different. Well, you would be, I think you would just be better, period, than I would be because you can do that, but you could also write, like, I have to write jokes, recite them, rehearse them, practice and practice and practice. So I'm saying exactly what I need to say word for word, pretty much. I don't have that like just I'm not I was never like the funniest guy in the room, just the naturally the party funny guy or anything like that.
Right.
So yeah, I don't have that. You
You're
could
ext-
do both of those
you
still, I think.
you're like the funniest guy in the room, like the low key funny guy who like if you're paying attention, that's the funniest thing you've heard all night.
I'll save up. I'll try to get a quick one in there.
It ain't easy when you got seven or eight male cousins that are in the in the room at the same time, all trying to be funnier than the next.
Yeah. We have a lot of funny people in our family actually.
But I'm telling you, being a funny person and doing comedy is two totally different
That's
things.
right.
I mean, there's that I can't stand up in front of a that I can't do it. I can do this in front of a microphone here. I can talk to kids. I get super nervous going to talk to parents,
Hmm.
and I mean that with talk to kids. I mean like coaching and stuff like that. I can have those conversations.
Yeah.
But like when the parents are there and I got to have like the parent meeting, like I start fumbling, I start getting nervous. I was a captain of the cross country team and I had to go make a speech at the banquet. I tell
Hmm.
the story all the time. I probably told it a million times. I looked down at the paper that I wrote everything and it was blurry. I couldn't read it.
Wow.
Mike Little's his wedding, I was the most nervous I think I've ever been in my life. I didn't know I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't stand up in front of people and do that.
Yeah.
I I took public speaking. I did all the speech courses. I did all in my year and a half that I was in college. That's basically all I took were speaking classes. I still can't do the public speaking part. Cannot do it. You give me a small group, I'll be the loudest guy, talk the most. I got no problem with that.
Yeah. Yeah. My whole life, I didn't want to speak in front of anybody, small group, big group, anything. The last couple of years, for some reason, I tell you, I think becoming a head coach at some point helped me, I think, a lot because I had
You were
to
always
have
in
a
the background.
voice.
You were in the background, so you didn't
Yeah.
need to. Now you have to.
Yeah. I forced myself to have to be the speaker.
Hmm.
So I think that helped a little bit. And then, taking the class and forcing myself to do all that. So anyway, Mount Rushmore for next week.
Let's see. Mount
I
Rushmore for next week.
I have it.
Oh, it's you?
No, I mean it's
Oh,
me.
that's right. We're back to the same week again, aren't we?
Yeah.
Do you have one?
So we're gonna do, of course I do. Uh,
Uh,
we're
oh
gonna
boy.
do the Mount Rushmore. We're gonna do the Mount Rushmore of museums. Mount Rushmore of museums.
That's actually really good. Where'd you get that from?
We'll see. Because what do we
Oh, the Bert
you said
Kreischer in the
something.
museum stuff that he was at.
Maybe. Maybe. Burt Blyleven's a Hall of Famer. That's a museum.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Something made me think about that.
I
Yeah.
like that. Wow. So, oof,
So
man, so
we're
museum.
gonna have we're gonna have three of the same.
I mean, I don't know that the Football Hall of Fame's on mine.
Yeah, it's probably not on mine either. I've never been.
Yeah, that you don't have to be there, right? You don't have to have ever been there.
No, I
Although
don't think
I've
so.
I've been to France.
Oh,
I've been to the Louvre,
wow. I mean, that's
maybe
got to be
the
that's the
most
most famous
famous
museum in the world.
museum in the world, right?
Yeah, at least art museum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to see the Mona Lisa.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was behind bulletproof glass and everything.
I don't remember any of it.
Oh.
My memory is so bad, dude. It's not even funny.
Hmm.
Not even funny. Like Joe Rogan's got this monkey brain or something like that. What's it called?
Alpha brain.
Alpha brain.
Yeah.
Like I've legit thought about buying that
So do I.
for real.
Yeah.
My wife's been telling me about this stuff called thylene blue or something. It's like a blue dye that another Joe Rogan thing where they like give you this dye and it was made for when they do MRIs and stuff.
Mm.
But it turns out that it like goes to your brain and it like enhances different parts of your brain or something. I mean, but it's like a dye. So they're like, put it in your drink, but use a straw and put the straw in the back of your because you will have a blue mouth. I don't want a blue mouth. I don't need my memory that much.
They're talking for a while now about how all the food dyes
Yeah,
are giving everybody cancer.
red dye 20 and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But this blue thylene is totally different, bro.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to give you cancer, but you might remember what hole you shot a birdie on in 1997.
Yeah. Nice.
I tell you, my brain is so bad, dude. It's not even funny.
So's mine.
So bad.
Hmm.
So bad. Anyway,
Yep.
there you go.
I think that about does it.
All right. Well, then we have museums. We got Nick Thune. What is it called? What's Nick Thune's called?
Born young.
Born Young. Born Young. Yeah. So I guess till next week, don't forget to turn your headlights on.